everyone, welcome to POMCLOSET. Today I'm going to be showing you how to make a little crop top in black. Crochet hook number 4, yarn needle, a pair of cutter, a tape measure, and any of your favorite colors of yarns. To start with, we need to do the bra cups first, and by doing the slip knot, and then you chain up to 14. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So I have 14 chains, and then you chain 1 and you do the single crochet on the second stitch, and just keep doing the single crochet until you reach the end of the row. I'm at the end of the row, and then you do one more single crochet in the same stitch, chain 1, and then 2 more single crochet in the same stitch. So you will have 4 single crochet in this stitch, plus 1 chain in the middle, and the rest of the back loop you just keep going with the single crochet until you reach the last stitch. I'm at the last stitch, and then you chain 1, turn the work, and go to the next stitch, not the first one where you chain 1. So the next stitch, and then just go with the single crochet. I forgot to mention, where you on the first row where you did 2 single crochet, chain 1, 2 single crochet, you can put the stitch markers on so you know where the middle of the bra cup is. So my chain 1 would be, so you have 2 single crochets, chain 1, so it would be this stitch in the middle, so you know where to do the 2 single crochets and chain 1, 2 single crochet in the next rows. So I will keep doing the single crochets until I reach the stitch markers. Just before I reach the stitch markers, I will take this out, and I do 2 more single crochet in this stitch, 1, 2, and then chain 1, and then 2 more single crochet in the same stitch, and then you put the stitch markers back on where you chain 1. So you know the next row you can do the 2 single crochet, 1 chain, 2 single crochet in this stitch, and for the rest of the row just keep going with the single crochets. So I will do chain 1 and then turn the work, and then just go to the next stitch, and you just keep going with the single crochets until you reach the stitch markers. And for this row is row 3, 4, 5. You will do exactly the same as row 2. Just put the 2 single crochets, 1 chain, 2 single crochet in the middle of this top part here, and I will meet you at the end of row 5. I will chain 1 and turn the work. So this is row 6. Just go to the next stitch and keep doing the single crochets until you reach the stitch markers, the middle part of the bra cup, and I will take the stitch markers out. Do the 1 single crochet, 1 chain, 1 single crochet in the same stitch, and for the rest of the row just doing the single crochets. So keep repeating row 6 to row 14. At the end of row 14, so you have the cupped like this, and you will need to chain 4 and turn the work. So this would be row 15, and then you will skip 1 stitch, go to the next one and do double crochets. Chain 1, skip 1 stitch, go to the next one, do double crochet. So keep repeating this until you reach the middle part here. And I need to put the stitch markers back on so you know where the middle part is. It's quite dark because it's black, so somewhere here. And keep doing this mesh stitch until you reach the 1 stitch before the middle stitch here. So I have the double crochet stitches around 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 of these double crochets, and this like the mesh stitches. I do double crochet, chain 1, skip 1, double crochet, chain 1, skip 1. So before you reach the stitch marker, which is the middle part of the top, get out the stitch markers, and then you skip 1, you go to the next stitch with 2 double crochets in the middle part here where you chain 1 from the previous row, and you do 2 double crochets, chain 2, 2 double crochets in the same stitch, and then you just go to the skip 1 stitch and go to the one next to it with double crochet, and then chain 1, skip 1, double crochet. So keep repeating exactly the same as on this side, and you have to make sure that you have the same amount of these double crochets. On this side you have 13, so make sure you have 13 on this side as well. Then I will cut off the yarn. And now for row 14, 15, 16, we need to reconnect the yarn on the third change on the right side, because we need to work on the right side. This is the right side, and this is the wrong side. So I will reconnecting the yarn on the right side of the bra cup, tied it, and we need to change up to 3, and then you do 1 double crochet in the same stitch, and you need to skip 2 chains and then go to the third one. So keep changing 3, do the double crochet in the same stitch and skip 2 stitches, go to the third one, change 3, do double crochet in the same stitch, skip 2 chains, and then you go to the next one. keep doing this until you get to the end of this part here, and then we will measure this bra cup. At the end of the row, I'm ending up with so I'm gonna count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 of these little each, and I have 9 on this side as well. So you leave the yarn like this, and now we need to measure the size of this bra cup. This top is size small, by the way, so the width on this part of the bra is around 8 inches. This is the under the breast, and for this side also 8 inches. So you do this for one more cup, and then we need to connecting the bra cups together. Now I have 2 bra cups done, and we need to attach them together. So the cup of my right hand side is we just need to continue doing the single crochets in this mesh stitch, and for the rest of the row we just gonna do the single crochets all the way down until you reach the end of the, and then I need to get another cup. And what you do is just repeat exactly the same as what you've done with the first bra cup by do the 2 single crochets in this mesh stitch, and for the rest of the row just do the single crochets until you reach the end of this bra. So I'm at the end of the last stitch of the left bra cup, and now we need to do the joining method of these 2 bra cups, because I feel like these 2 bras, they're quite further apart, so we need to make them closer to each other. So I will grab the other end of the yarn which I have left, the long strands, and I will use the yarn needles, insert the yarn needles into the yarn into the yarn needles, and then you need to attach the 2 cups. I will go through the first where you did the 3 chains and then 2 double crochet. I will insert the yarn there, and this is the wrong side of the bra cup, by the way. So pull the yarn through, and you need to come back to the first crowd. I call this a crowd, and you just pull the yarn through, tie it. I do it twice, and then you need to hide this end somewhere. Just gonna go through like this and cut off this excess yarn. I have now 2 bra cups attaching to each other. So what we need to do next is the under the bra cups here, and I have found a very lovely pattern from this book, if you can see it. So the pattern will look like this, and you can screenshot this to do the rest of the top. You can do as many rows as you wish, but I'm gonna do all of these patterns, so that would be the total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 rows in total. To follow the pattern, I will change 4 at the end of these bra cups here. Chain 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. You turn the work and you do double crochet on the 3rd stitch. I will count. Here's 1, 2, 3, 3rd stitch, double crochets, chain 1, and do double crochet on the, so skip 1, go to the next one, just like a mesh rose. Chain 1, skip 1, do double crochets, chain 1, skip 1 stitch, do double crochets. Do this until you reach the end of the row. At the last stitch, just chain 1, turn the work, and you do 1 single crochet in each of these stitches. So you have 1 single crochet in between the gap, and 1 chain on top of the double crochets, 1 here and 1 here. So keep doing this till you reach the end of the row. And the next row you just change up to 4, turn the work and do double crochet in this 1st stitch where you're starting to change. So that would be your 4 chains, 1 double crochets, and then change 2, skip 2, and do the single crochet on the 3rd stitch, and then change 2, do the double crochet on the 3rd stitch, change 2, do 1 more double crochet in the same stitch, and then repeat, which is chain 2, skip 2, 1 single crochet, change 2, skip 2, go to the 3rd one, do double crochets, chain 2, and double crochets, change 2, skip 2, do 1 single crochet, change 2, skip 2, go to the 3rd, double crochets, change 2, the same stitch. So you will have the V stitch like this, and here is my last V stitch. If you don't get anything like this, you need to work on the stitches. So make sure the last stitch is end up having the double crochets, 1 chain and double crochets. And for the next stitch, next row, we need to change up 3, turn the work, and then do double crochets in this gap here, and do 1 more double crochets, and you will have the 3. So when you do the double crochet, don't pull it through yet. You do that twice, and then you will end up having the 3 loops on the needles, and then you pull through, and then chain 1. So repeat 1 more of this. So you do 1 double crochet, don't pull it through yet, 2 and 3. So now you have 4 loops on the crochet needles, and just pull them all through, and then chain 1. So move on to the next V. You just repeat what we've just done. So this time we do 3 of this, I don't know the name, but we do 3 of these in this V stitch. I do the double crochets, don't pull them through yet, twice, 3 times, and you have 4 loops, pull them all through, chain 1, and then repeat 1, 2, 3. You have 4 loops, pull them all through, chain 1, and then 1 more of this, 1, 2, 3, 4 of these loops, pull them all through, and then chain 1. So in between each of these little thing here, you have 1 chain in between. Also on the between these 2 pattern. So after you change 1, and then you repeat in the next V, and do exactly the same as on this one, and at the very last stitch, last V, which is where you do double crochet, 1 chain, double crochet, you will do 2 of this little pattern here, 2 of these at the end of the last V. At the end of the row with 2 of these little, looks like a little corn seeds. So the next row we need to do the 4 chains and then turn the work, and then you will do the double crochets on this stitch, so you will have 4 chains and then 1 double crochets on top of this little, I call this seed, and then chain 1 and go to the next one, which is in between this where we did chain 1. So it will make a little mesh gap here, and chain 1, do double crochets on top of this. You remember on the pattern we chain 1 in between and just do the double crochets on the top of these seats here. You chain one. I will put one more here. So you have 2 double crochet at the beginning, and you have 3 on top of this pattern, and then chain one, go to the next seat, chain one to the next one, chain one, and double crochets. So on top of each pattern except the first one, you will have 3 double crochets on top, and this one you have 3 double crochets, and also the rest you will also have 3 on top of at the end of the row, and ending with the 2 double crochets like this, the same as at the beginning of the row. You also have 2 double crochets, and the rest on top of each pattern you will have 3 double crochets. And the next row you just chain one, turn the work, and then just keep doing the single crochets in every stitches until you reach the end of the row. And this row is the repeating of row, I would say row 3. This is I count this as row 1, where we did the single crochet along the bra cup, and then you do the mesh stitches, which is the same as this one here, and you do the single crochet the same as row 3. And for the next row you just repeat this row, and you repeat this row, you repeat this row, and the last row you will end up having this row. So do one more of this set and you will be complete with the row like this. So this is the pattern that I've shown you. We are now at this row. So now I'm gonna do the rest in single crochets, and then you do this row and repeat this row also. Repeat one more of the mesh rows, and at the end you will repeat the single crochet rows. So I'm done with the 2 set of this pattern. Now we need to do the side by changing one, do the single crochets at the beginning and 2 single crochets on these mesh rows, and then for this row also 2 single crochets. The next row, which is the V stitch, you also do 2 single crochets. So basically you just do 1 single crochet on the single crochet rows, and the rest just 2 single crochet in each of these, also on here, and 1 single crochet here. And once you reach the last single crochets row, you're just gonna go for 2 more single crochets on the next. This is the edge where we did 3 chains, 1 double crochet, so we're just gonna go 2 single crochets here and do 1 more of 2 single crochets in the next of this pattern. Then you do 3 single crochets, turn the work, skip one stitch next to the first one, and then you just go for double crochets, chain one, skip one stitch, go to the next one with double crochets. So we do the mesh stitches again on the side, and you will end up having 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 double crochets. For the next row, you just chain one, turn the work, and do single crochets in every chains, every stitches, until you reach the last stitch. So here is the last stitch, and then you chain 3, turn the work, you do the double crochets on the what you call this, the third double crochets. So you have the first row of double crochets, mesh row, so you have the third one here, and you just do another one on top. So we are decreasing the stitches on the back. So, and then you do one change and a double crochet on the next, on top of the next double crochet, chain one, the next double crochets, chain one. So do this until you reach the end of the row, and then chain one, and then do the single crochet until you reach the last stitch, which is here, and you keep repeating this row. And I'm ended up with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of these mesh rows, and the single crochet rows you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and you ended up having something like this at the end. You also ended up with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 double crochets mesh, and then I will cut off the yarn, also do exactly the same as on the other side to complete the back side. The top is almost complete. I've done the side, both sides, and now we need to do the straps, and it's very simple. Basically you just do the chains. So grab the yarn, and do the slip knot. Just change until you get the length of 48 inches. I'm done with the straps. This is the length of 48 inches. So I fold it into half, and now we need to get the top, and you do, this is the right side, this is the wrong side. You just insert the crochet hook on the back piece, and you just pull the strings that you've just done and fold it in half through, and just pull another strands, pull this 2 strand through, and you will have the strings of this top. So do this for another side as well. do it on the back, and fold the straps into half, pull through. So now you have both strings for the top. For this side we need to do another strings by grabbing the yarn, so you need 2 ends. So I fold this yarn into half and I just wrap around my fingers, insert a crochet hook like this, and then just tie it. Wrap around the needles twice or 3 times and try to pull these 2 strands through this loop, which is quite difficult sometimes, but it can go through eventually. And then you just change. You can get a bigger needles and you just cut off this end, trimmed it, and do this for the length of, I would say, 1.5 meters. And for any excess yarn, you don't need them, you just hide them in or weave them in somewhere. So the back piece, the top with the back side or inside of the bra would look like this, and then you just fold this side similar to this, and then you just keep inserting the strings with tassels. So how to do the tassels, I have shown you with the first tassels, and the other side you just do the same, just wrapping this around the 3 fingers around 5 to 6 times, and you just insert the other end of these strings and then tie it. So if you're not sure how to do it, please go to the Granny Squares top. So I will put the link of how to do this in the description, so you can do similar to this one. So by inserting the strings, you just go to the last hole, the bottom hole of the top, and you just insert it through like this, and then you just go to the other side. So basically just a crisscross kind of style, and grab the other end, insert the tassel strings through the first hole of the other side of the top, and you just insert one more time to the other side, so just make the crisscross strings. So this would go on the back, and the top is also. So now is a complete top in black, size small, which fits 30 to 34 inches breast size. So I really hope you enjoyed the tutorial, and don't forget to like, share and subscribe to my channel. I have many videos to come. So thanks for watching guys, and see you in the next video.